into that group of how, rather than being hung up on the technical thing about the grazing times and all that, you know, I mean, there is some importance in that, absolutely, and it's a tool, but the real importance is for us to connect with the intelligence in nature, and then all sorts of things happen that wouldn't happen.
That's something I wanted to point out to you, is because I did talk to a number of farmers just randomly as they'd be walking along, and I, let them know what I'm doing. And they give me the pamphlet back and say, I'm not doing a carbon project. I don't want to do a carbon project. And I'd say, oh, why? I'm just curious. And they said, well, we don't want to be locked into the government. We don't want that 25-year clause, and we don't want to have to change what we're doing. And I said, well, that's what I'm trying to do with Urth, is provide you other options so you can sell into different markets. You're still recording it with the quality that Carbon Link is doing. So you can choose, and it's mainly about recording your biodiversity and telling the narrative of your story of what you're doing. So I
did any of them warm to that?
Yeah, they took the pamphlet back.
Is you want the community to benefit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we need to have that as part of the repertoire, because that's what we're doing up at Clermont. So
I think that was a big message in the whole conference.
Yeah, and then we need to try and incorporate a whole of farm approach. As far as the carbon project goes, instead of just looking at, I got a soil project, you've got a whole of farm where you might have trees there, but you can do a soil project where the trees are, and they're working on it. It's going to happen, but. And pH is a factor of the amount of hydrogen in solution. And so we're getting more hydrogen in solution, we're dropping the pH, the acid, making it more acid. And once it gets below 5, 4.5, 4, aluminium, lead, cadmium all become available in solution. And so the plant's got no bloody choice. The plant puts out hydrogen ions to try and displace the minerals off the clay particles in the cation exchange so that it can take up the minerals. And that's because we forced it to do that by not having a good association with the fungi, because the fungi normally access all that, see?
Right.
And the fungi
balance it all. Well,
they access the minerals and water and supply the plant. That's how the plant would rather operate, and so by not having that normal microbial bridge there, because of the way we farm, too much nitrogen, too much phosphorus, and the plant never makes an association with the mycorrhiza fungi because it didn't need to, because it had plenty of phosphorus. Then the plant uses a different strategy to get its minerals. So it's pumping out these hydrogen ions, trying to displace the major minerals off the clay particles that are attached to the clay particles in that what they call the cation exchange, because the clay particles are negative and most of the major minerals are positive. And if we didn't have that happening, there'd be no minerals at all, it'd be all in the bloody sea. And so we're increasing the amount of hydrogen in solution, which drops the pH. We're forcing the plant to not have an association with the fungi, so it's got to turn around and use a different strategy to get its minerals. It's mainly having too much phosphorus there right in the beginning, and so the plant doesn't need to make an association with the mycorrhiza fungi, because that's the trigger. You've got a plethora of plants, they've all got slightly different associations level of associations with the biology in the soil, and some of them, and they've all got several different strategies they can use to survive. But the most efficient and for the whole system is that they do have that association with the fungi to get their minerals and water, because the fungi are intelligent and they won't take up the aluminium, and even if it is in solution. they want to take it up, but the plant's got no choice.
Right.
And so, so you're dropping the pH, and then once it gets to a certain level, those toxic mostly become available and become in solution, and
Then they're a problem.
and the plant takes them up.